Yogah Karmasu Kaushalam.
So let's talk about marriage and happiness, because this is a part of the positive psychology. I'll give you some examples here. A good marriage is one of the life factors most strongly associated and consistently associated with happiness. When you see a couple, sometimes you can make out that they have a very good marriage. So at no point of time I'm trying to tell you that they don't fight, that they don't have conflicts, they don't argue, they're not angry with each other. No, you're all humans. I have my own opinions and my husband could have his own opinions. We have accepted each other's strengths and weaknesses. What I cannot do, he can do. What he cannot do, I can do. So you both come together and complete each other and become one. I'm not talking of the physical union. I'm talking of the mental union. And that's what will make good marriage. When we enter marriage, we want to change the other person, which is not right. Accept the person as he is. Then only. And marriage is like a journey. You keep on traveling together. Hold your hands, hug each other, and keep traveling through the life, the journey of life. The good days, the bad days, the difficult days, etc. There is a strong consensus in the field of positive psychology that the number and depth of personal relationships has had the greatest effect on happiness. Believe me that when you go to work and you had a disturbed marriage, it's very difficult. You just had a fight with your wife, or the wife just fought with the husband, and you've gone to work. You have a very disturbed day. You cannot be at peace. But if your marriage is a good one and you have understood your partner's strengths, weaknesses, problems, and you have traveled the journey through the partner, that feeling of happiness will be seen on your face, and your marriage will be a good one. And the relationship where vast number of people derive the greatest boost to their well-being is in their marriage. Remember, marriage is like a small plant, which you have to water every day, which you have to show sunlight every day. Then only it will grow. And when it grows, it becomes a beautiful plant, becomes a beautiful tree. And where are the roots? The roots are very, very deep. When will all this be useful to you? When you will start aging. I'm experiencing that. That's why I am able to talk so freely about it. Our happiness is completely and utterly intertwined with the other person. What gives happiness to my partner? She loves red roses. She loves a pink sari. All that is okay. But in her times when she is afraid, when she feels fear, she's anxious, I just have to hold her hand and be there. That's a good marriage. It's not just marriage itself that brings the benefit. It must be a harmonious, loving relationship to derive maximum value. She makes tea for you every day. Today is Sunday, you make tea for her. You make lunch for her. Give her a nice, sumptuous breakfast. That's a good marriage. Let her mentally feel that wherever she is, she just has to call out for you and you'll be there for her. This gives her a lot of internal strength to do lots of difficult things in life which she would not be able to do otherwise. Resilience. Another very important concept. Look at this image, it's so beautiful. Resilience, this is the new concept in positive psychology, and believe me, so much of research is being done on this today. Resilience talks about optimism, self-belief, control of self, willingness to adapt, willingness to be flexible, ability to solve problems, emotional awareness, social support, sense of humor. Psychologists define resilience as the process of adapting well in the face of adversity, trauma, tragedy, threats, or significant sources of stress, such as family and relationship problems. Your family is passing through difficult times, like the pandemic, for example. Everybody's stuck at home. You don't have a job right now. You lost your job. There are financial crises. Your parents are having serious health problems. There are financial stressors. So if you are able to overcome all this during these challenging times, you are resilient. So being resilient doesn't mean that a person won't experience this difficulty or stress. Even as I talk about all this to you, I'm also a human being. I'm a psychologist by profession. I'm an academician by profession. But I'm resilient, which doesn't mean that these difficulties and distresses will not come to me. People who have suffered major adversity or traumas in their life commonly experience emotional pain and stress. But the road to resilience is likely to involve considerable emotional distress, like building a muscle, increasing your resilience, taking time and intentionality, focusing on the 4 core components of resilience: connection, wellness, healthy thinking, and meaning. Look at this model. We're going to talk a little about it to understand resilience better. This is called Kumar's CRB model of resilience. So positivity improves resilience in a number of ways. Positive emotions, they help us to build socially, psychologically, physical resources over time, which would help us to develop our coping skills during future times of stress. This is something I must talk to you about. That when you are a positive person, you believe in positivity and you practice positivity, you are able to develop your coping skills in such a manner that in future, whenever there are problems, you are ready for them. That's what it means by developing coping skills. You already thought about strategies and you already thought about things that how will you go ahead and how are you going to do it in future when stressful situations will arise. There are many ways to build resilience so that it becomes your natural tendency. Allow yourself to express and feel your emotions. How will you become resilient? That's what I'm trying to tell you. So allow yourself to express and feel your emotions. Sometimes having a good cry can be emotionally cleansing. Can you remember when you last cried? Can you remember? So if you have a good cry, it will emotionally clean. So all your emotions, pent up emotions will come out and that will make you more resilient. Take a walk, get moving, exercise. All this will help you energize yourself. Talk with someone you love and trust. Many times we feel that if I talk, I'll look stupid. What will people talk about me? What will people say about me? No, I can't talk about this problem. It's too personal. That's why I'm writing here, talk with someone you love and trust. Have a meaningful and honest conversation. There has to be one person in your life whom you can talk freely, talk out your heart. Take some time off to recharge. Unplug the electronic devices and give yourself a moment to rest and reflect. Morning when you get up, you're checking the WhatsApp, what's there on your mail. Throughout the day, you're working in the office, so you are on the mail, you're on your computer, you're on your phone. So when you unplug, when does your mind rest? When you give time to yourself. Think of someone who is resilient and can be your model. So you can take help from that person. You can look up to that person. Go within and connect with your higher power through meditation or prayer. I like to pray, sharing personally. When I pray, maybe at the mandir or maybe personally in front of my mandir at home, or just sit in my bed and join my hands and remember God and pray to Him, that makes me feel very resilient. Meditation you can practice. Write it down. Writing down your thoughts and feelings helps you analyze them better. Reconnect with others. Help build your resilience. Like I have noticed that now these days, I'm reconnecting with my old school friends and we are meeting and we are going out. I'm calling up my old cousins who I was not connected to earlier. I'm calling up old friends. So it speaks of resilience. Be kind to yourself, have compassion, and ease up on your expectations. Sometimes we are very crude with ourselves. We're very harsh on ourselves. So be kind to yourself. Have sympathy towards yourself. Have compassion. And bring down your expectation levels. I need to do that, and my house should look perfect, and my drawing room should look perfect, and my work should be perfect, and my career should be perfect. My children should be perfect. We're all human beings. It's not possible to attain perfection all the time. So ease out on your expectations. Listen to empowering music, the music that you love. Music can do wonders. There's a whole psychology which is called music psychology. Take some deep breaths. Breathing will really help you heal and cleanse. Take some inspirations. This is Seligman, whom we talked about in the beginning, his PERMA model. Positive motion, accomplishments, engagement, meaning, and relationships. I hope you like this slide because it's a very meaningful slide. So we've already talked about all this actually, but just to quickly go through, because time is running out, that the PERMA model, in that the P talks about the positive emotions, feeling good, which we have talked about all along. Engagement is a new word for us. Being completely absorbed in activities that one likes to do. By being completely absorbed, we mean your involvement. Whether you're cooking in the kitchen, whether you're taking care of your children, whether you're cleaning your house, whether you're going to work and you're arranging your files, whatever task you are doing, you should do it with complete engagement, with complete involvement. Relationships. These days, I noticed that people are very artificial in their relationships. Oh, hi, so great to see you. Where were you? I was here only. But you never bothered to call or find out. So what is this? Hey, how are you? I missed you. If you missed me, you should have called me. We are not authentic. So be authentic in your relationships. Just have one friend. Be authentic with your friend, your wife at home, your relationships with your children, your parents, your neighbors. But your authenticity in the relationships your genuineness is very important. Meaningful, purposeful existence. You've been sent to this world to do something. So have a very meaningful and a purposeful existence. Your achievement, your sense of accomplishment and success in anything that you do. Whether I give you the example, playing the guitar, you play the drums, or you are doing a piece of art, or you're a very good singer, or you're a very great teacher, you're a very great scientist, whatever it is. But your sense of accomplishment and success is very important. In the concept of positive psychology, I cannot close my slides without talking about the big 5 personality traits. This is a whole huge test which we have used in our dissertations and PhD thesis, and it's a wonderful test for positivity. I'll just quickly go through because time is running by, and I have to talk about a very important concept of mindfulness. So openness to experience, conscientiousness, extroversion, agreeableness, neuroticism. These are the 5 personality traits in the individual, what we call the big 5. Each one reflects a key part of how a person thinks, feels, and behaves. So what we're trying to say here is that individuals with higher initial levels of well-being, they tend to be having these big 5 traits in them. Nice slide, colorful slide, explaining it also beautifully. We have psychological tests which test your happiness quotient. This you can just read through later on. Traits of happy people: self-esteem, personal control, optimism, extroversion. Now I want to come to the most important part of this presentation, and that is mindfulness. In today's scenario of COVID-19, and even otherwise, psychology applies to your life even otherwise. So it's very important to be mindful. If you are mindful, so many problems in your life will automatically become smaller, or if they are there, it will give you a better way to handle them, better coping strategies. So let's understand the concept of mindfulness. Maintaining a moment-by-moment awareness of your thoughts, feelings, bodily sensations, and surrounding environment through a gentle, nurturing lens. Mindfulness requires a non-judgmental acknowledgement and acceptance of our thoughts and feelings. Acknowledging our feelings but judging them, providing a value judgment like I should be thinking like this, that's a bad thought to have, would not qualify as practicing mindfulness. So maintaining a moment-by-moment awareness of your thoughts. When you get your thoughts, your feelings, then you should be aware of what I'm thinking. It's not just a thought, but this thought can affect me mentally, physically. So be mindful. Mindfulness can be described as the practice of paying attention in the present moment and doing it intentionally with a non-judgment. Mindfulness can be described as the practice of paying attention in the present moment and doing it intentionally and being non-judgmental. Mindfulness is a practice, the practice of paying attention in the present moment and doing it with non-judgmental behavior. Over the last 30 years, this practice has been thoroughly researched and successfully implemented in the hospitals, businesses, education, and the military. Now let's look at mindfulness in the Indian tradition. Very recently at the Department of Psychology, we had a whole 2-day workshop by Dr. Mahendra Sharma, whose name I have put here. He's coming from NIMHANS, Bangalore. He's done a lot of research. In India, there are very few people who work only on mindfulness. And he was fantastic. His explanations were fantastic in the 2-day workshop. And everybody thoroughly enjoyed the 2-day workshop. So in the recent years, there has been an increasing interest in the application of meditation approaches in the management of the mental health concerns. Meditation is considered to be one of the 3 self-regulatory strategies that are effective in the management of anxiety. Mindfulness-based interventions can be tracked back to one of the India's most ancient meditative techniques, which is called Vipassana meditation. I'm sure you know about that. Mindfulness is also specifically associated with relaxation techniques. So in order to be mindful, relaxation techniques, that is to relax your mind, do meditation, do Vipassana, will help you to become a better human being, a better individual, and become more and more mindful of what you are thinking, because your thoughts, your cognition, your understanding will have an impact on your body. And as we say in psychology, body and mind are not different from each other. What happens to the body has an impact on the mind. What happens to the mind has an impact on the body. So mindfulness is also specifically associated with relaxation techniques. In today's scenario, mindfulness is practiced to that extent that has helped common problems like anxiety disorders, then generalized anxiety disorders, panic disorders, and so on. So what can mindfulness do? So you must be wondering that I keep on saying being mindful. So how does it help you? It reduces stress. It increases your focus. It helps you to improve your emotions, emotional regulation. So, sometimes you are very impulsive, sometimes you're very angry, we are throwing things, etc. It regulates your emotion if you are mindful. I'm angry, but if I'm mindful, I'm able to regulate my emotion. Increased emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence means I have an improved conflict resolution skill. So conflicts will come, big ones, small ones, but I'm able to solve them. Increased empathy and respect. Empathy is a very important word for us in psychology. To empathize means put yourself in that person's place. Our psychotherapeutic techniques are all based on empathy. So do you empathize? Do you understand what that person is going through? So empathy and respect. Increased resilience. It helps you to increase your resilience, about which we talked. Improved physical well-being. Again, we talked about psychological well-being, but here we're talking about physical well-being. So your physical well-being will be better. Will be away from disorders. Improved creativity and collaboration. So if you are mindful, then your creativity will be better. You'll be able to think more deeply, discover more things in the creative arts. So benefits of mindfulness in the positive psychology. Being mindful of your thoughts and emotion promotes well-being. Being mindful can improve your working memory. Mindfulness can help you make better use of your strengths. Many a times what happens is we are constantly looking at our weaknesses. So if you're mindful and you practice it on a daily basis, you can make better use of your strengths. Mindfulness practice can raise your happiness set point, your happiness level. Mindfulness can make you more resilient. It shrinks the stress region in your brain. Now I am coming towards the end of my presentation. In psychology, in positive psychology, I cannot close the whole presentation without talking about gratitude. It is a much, much needed thing in today's times. It's a thankful appreciation for what an individual receives, whether tangible or intangible. With gratitude, people acknowledge the goodness in their lives. As a result, gratitude also helps people connect to something larger than themselves as individuals, whether to other people, nature, or higher power. Practicing gratitude and being grateful are keys to our happier life and obviously more positivity. I like to give you an example here. Like you get up in the morning, in the pandemic particularly, I'm talking with that reference, that when you get up in the morning, you sit in your bed and pray to God that God, thank you. Thank you for giving me all these wonderful things. And today in the pandemic too, keep me away from the coronavirus. And I'm being able to live a good life. Though I'm in the safety of my home, though I'm not going to the office, I'm working from home. So I'm safe. And that obviously is showing gratitude to God for not giving you the corona infection till date. And you are a healthy person. If you are a healthy person, you are not infected. Everybody in your family is also not infected. So in today's pandemic, for example, you thank God. You must have seen on the television that so many people are traveling and on the road and they have not eaten for three days. We are sitting in the safety of our homes and we are eating whatever we want to eat. So think of those people who don't have shelter, who don't have homes. They had to leave their homes and walk on the streets. So be grateful to, so I've written here for you, be grateful to other people, be grateful to nature. You're able to hear the birds chirping, for you to be educated, for having such a lovely family, having such a good set of parents, etc. Gratitude in life, to be thankful what you have. Your legs, your hands, your eyes, you can see, you can walk, you can jump, you can talk. You have to be grateful for what you have. Doesn't matter if it's little, but you have it. That's why gratitude is a very, very important concept which relates to positive psychology. With this, I end my presentation. Thank you for patient listening. I hope I've been able to talk something positive, something nice, and you will be gaining better insight into your personal self. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Madam. I am thankful to on behalf of HRDC and all the participants. Thank you, Madam.